Hello, my name is Mariana, and today this is a collective reading for the summer solstice here in the southern hemisphere and the winter solstice in the northern hemisphere. So, because it is a collective reading, I am doing this reading with my big combined deck with tarot cards and oracle cards. Although here in this first part on YouTube there are only tarot cards, but we'll see what comes up in the extended reading. So the message for this collective reading for the solstice today, the 21st of December, has to do with reclaiming true authority. And true authority here is coming through as being very accountable for your desires, but from this higher standpoint where perhaps you feel like you are, or your human self feels like you are at a crossroads, but really you're not. You are finding your axis. You're finding your, and it's interesting how the word axis, meaning your center, right, is so like the sound of it is so close to finding access, right? Having access to your true authority is actually through finding your axis, your center, your stability. And stability meaning it's not immovable, it moves with you, right? So, and there is something else here that is really important, which is the power of choice, which could have been overlooked or could have been misinterpreted as something deceitful, something cruel, something, as if you were missing an opportunity if you choose one and not the other. And I feel like claiming this true authority has to do with the power of choice and honoring this power of you choosing one or the other, because that's the thing about the message overall. Also, life, existence, reality, however you want to see your place in this whole universe, is cyclical. And I feel like this is what is coming afterwards, at the end, at the very end, which is actually opening the doorway to the new moon, which is happening in a couple of days. And so I feel like there is this realization that comes with claiming this true authority, which is reminding us all of our power of choosing, but also like the realization that we're not missing anything in this choice, if it makes sense. And I feel like it has to do with following our heart in this. So we're beginning with the Hierophant. And this Hierophant is the one who's bringing this message of claim your true authority, right? And it's interesting because here on this hat, we have this cross. So, and I know, the solstice itself is the point where the sun is peak in a sense, right? And then it reverses its movement to go back to either the northernmost part that it reaches or the southernmost part that it reaches, right? It's in the equinoxes that it reaches this east-west perfect alignment. So I feel like there is this cyclical movement that is beyond just our human self daily lives, right? It's like this planetary kind of cycle that we're talking about here, especially like the movement that we perceive as the movement of the sun, which is in fact us moving around the sun, right? So, and the earth itself moving around its own axis. So I feel like claiming this true power of authority, the true sovereignty, right? It's what I just heard. It's like The true sovereignty comes when you claim your true authority. And this true authority comes when you are at this center, when you are recognizing your own axis, your own center. But with the Nine of Cups coming next, it has to do with true desires. And the reason why I want to emphasize this word, true desires, not only because here it's coming through as true authority, is because there is a distinction that I feel like it's easily distinguishable from selfish desires, or like small desires, or kind of like selfish desires. Because here we have the Knight of Wands. And actually, let me show you already the next card, because this is all creating one big picture. So after the Hierophant, we have the Nine of Cups, and then after that we have the Knight of Wands and the Seven of Wands. So this Knight of Wands acts upon desires. And I feel like this Seven of Wands is actually showing me a safety net. So when we act upon true desires, true wishes, these dreams that are coming from our true self, right? This higher self, this sovereign self, right? When we recognize that this alignment that puts us in the center of this crossroads, it's not actually something bad. It's actually something that we should take power and authority over this incredible possibility of choosing, right? So perhaps we're talking about free will being, and I know that this word alone, right, the concept of free will is already so imbued with preconcepts. And I feel like true authority is beyond concepts, right? True authority is like being in the center of yourself, finding your axis. And when you do so, when we do so, we find what is really like moving us, moving our heart, right? So this is part of the knowingness that you found your center, when you know exactly what you truly want. And it's not something that is selfish or like a small self desire or need, right? So here, these two cards are symbolizing, well, two things. First of all, this kind of like the misconception of what you want or what you thought you wanted in the past. Because I feel like here, there's something about acting impulsively, but knowing that there was, or there would be, always a safety net coming with the Seven of Wands. And the safety net is always going to be there. This is how I'm seeing this or feeling this. It's like there is this reassurance, but it's almost like there is less doubt that the safety net will appear when you act, right? This Knight of Wands is coming through as action, but action that is not, that you're not overthinking about what you're doing. It's like you're acting upon something that you know for sure that you want. So there is this distinction between what you thought you wanted, knowing that you were going to be protected, but acting upon something that you claim true authority over, right? It's something that you have this knowingness. It's like this resonance, the heart resonance with your true desire, because it's coming from this claim, right? This authority that now you're, well, it's interesting because I was going to say you are creating, but it's not you're creating. You're discovering that you had this authority all along, but really it was mixed in maybe foolish or selfish desires, or just human desires, right? But it's like there's always been this trust that your actions were going to be protected, were going to be um, safe in a sense. But the change here is about this true claim, the true authority, the true sovereignty that knows exactly what it wants, what it needs, what it's best, right? It's like for your highest good. And so these claims, the claim of your true authority and your true desires, are, it's like helping you to let go of maybe the fear, right? That you weren't going to be caught by the net, right? Or even the fear of being caught in the net, right? It's like, and being stuck in the net, right? Now, because now this is coming through as like a web that it's like you could get entangled in the web, right? Or maybe this is a safety net that could represent like people that you relied upon, that maybe you were scared of becoming dependent upon. So, but that's the thing. It's like when you are claiming your true desires because you are recognizing and honoring your true self's sovereignty, right? This axis of yours, you're aligned to it. I feel like the action is not reckless, is not impulsive, is not selfish, right? It's actually very how do I say this? It's like it's very straightforward, right? There is no overthinking. It's like I know what I want, I'm acting upon it. There is no second guessing in the middle. There is no middle ground, right? There is no space even for the fear of not being caught or being caught by the net. It's like there is no room for that, right? And I feel like here, the Devil card coming next is exactly showing the crossroads point where you find, or I want to say, you discover that you rediscover or you remember. I feel like that's the best way to say it. It's like you remember your authority, you recognize it, you realign with it, right? You reconnect with this point in the center, which is actually not a deceitful thing, right? I feel like the Devil here is just showing the fact of what it is, right? Of how it feels to be here in the center of yourself, aligned with your true self, and knowing that there are options, right? It's almost like being, that's the thing. I was talking about this yesterday and I found this so fascinating because actually I was seeing this solstice moment as being like connected to one of the 4 points of the compass, right? And I was talking about the compass as having like the 4 points, right? North, south, east, west, and east, west. But then I was thinking about this, and actually what came to me was this interesting thought of the compass having 5 points and the center being the 5th one that is constantly overlooked, right? So I feel like, and that's what it's being rediscovered or remembered here, that the moment that you are at the center, when you are facing options ahead of you, this doesn't have to be embedded with preconcepts or even fears that are coming from the human self, right? It's almost like acting upon your own survival. But when you are truly facing or truly like listening to your heart's desire, there's something about being at the crossroads that does not bring the fear of the devil, right? It's like the concept of the devil as a scary creature, as a deceitful being, as a scary situation or whatever it is no longer there, right? Because being at the center, being aligned, just means that you're at the center of this compass, that you could choose to walk either way, right? Or like whichever way you feel like it's what is best for you, right? What is for your highest good. and that takes away the power of the devil, and you reclaim the power to yourself. So the Wheel of Fortune here is coming through as a wheel, right? A wheel of a car, as in like you are now taking power, taking ownership, claiming your true authority, which might have been given by culture, by society, by history, by religion, by family, by school, by teachers, whatever it is, by expectations, right? External expectations and stories that were told to us as a collective group, right? As in like creating this collective unconscious belief that being at a crossroads, or it's like it's synonymous to being stuck, right? Or feeling like you have to give away your power to the devil, or that being stuck at a crossroads means that the devil is in control, that it could cheat you or that could trick you in some sort of deceiving way. But with the Wheel of Fortune, you see how the same cross is here, right? But now it's like it's the compass, right? The compass is here. The compass is in your hands. It's like the true authority is claiming the true power of choice, right? And maybe this has to do also with this preconceived and maybe misunderstood idea of what free will is in this light of what destiny is, right? But when one claims true authority, it's like it has access to the own axis. I hope I'm making sense, right? It's like the blending of the two words, right? Gaining access to your true sovereignty is rediscovering and realigning to your true axis. And finding the center is it's like having power, right? Claiming power over your own destiny with your true desires, meaning your free will to choose what is best for you, for your highest good, way beyond what could have been seen as a moment of, I don't know what to do, I am going to lose an opportunity, I am going to miss this other option if I don't choose this, or, just the feeling of being stuck and feeling the pressure perhaps, right, of the devil, and like just being pushed to choose something, when really I feel like the main thing about this message today is about being in the center, finding your axis, right, is giving you access to your true authority, right? Or it's like it's vice versa, because it's like claiming your true authority is giving also access to you discovering exactly what is best for you, right? Because you are aligned to your true heart's desire. And that's the thing also, because something that I was just reminded that I was talking about yesterday was that, if we think of the cross, and the cross of the Wheel of Fortune is also like finding that there is this fifth point in the center that is actually where every direction comes from and goes to, right? So there's something about the body, right? The body, when we think of our body, when we are with our arms wide open, it's like we do have this shape of the cross, and where it meets, where it crosses, it's at the center of our heart, right? So I feel like there's something about the focus now being not at the destination or the destiny, right? Or the power of destiny over imposing some sort of outcome in our lives, because that would be focusing in the 4 points of the compass, meaning going outside, going elsewhere. But when you focus inside in the center of this compass, this is when you claim your true authority back. This is when you become sovereign, when you have access to your own axis. And that's when you find that you can act upon your true desires without being pushed by any sort of external force, right? Or deceiving character, right? It's like really taking back the power that perhaps us as a collective gave away to the devil, in a sense, whatever this devil might represent for you. It could be a personal situation, it could be just religion, it could be just authority that you were giving away to somebody else, to an institution, to a belief, to whatever it is, right? I feel like this is going to be specific for each, but there's something that is happening for the collective right now, which is like claim the authority of your own free will. And that is the true power that you have of choosing, right? The power of choice that is in your hands, that is in our hands, right? Individually and collectively, to align to something that is bigger than us. But it's coming from our connection or our reconnection with our true selves, right? And the reason why I'm saying that there is this alignment with something beyond us is because these two cards are ending this first part here. And it's beautiful because they actually turn together. So the way that I interpreted this was that sun and moon are holding hands. And this is often a way that I describe a new moon. Because to me, conjunctions, right, which is an aspect in astrology, that is when two planets are in the same degree of the same sign. So, and to me, this is when they are holding hands, right? They are hugging each other, they are meeting each other. So, and to me, the new moon is exactly that, because it's the meeting of the sun and the moon in the same exact degree of the same sign, which is in fact what is happening in a couple of days on the 23rd, which is going to be the new moon in Capricorn. So today, the solstice is when the sun is entering Capricorn, and in a few days, we have the moon catching up to the sun and having this beautiful new moon, this beautiful gathering, this beautiful meeting, holding hands, right? So the masculine principle and the feminine principle meeting each other, kissing each other, holding hands. So there is this union, which, okay, so this is so gorgeous. It is the crossing, right? It is meeting in the middle. It is finding this alignment, which is coming from different directions, right? It's like the cycle of the moon. So, every month we have a new moon. So every month we have a new beginning coming from this point of meeting between the sun and the moon. And I feel like it's almost like each new moon is a chance to claim true authority, right? Because I feel like when sun and moon are together, and perhaps we're going to have more about this either in the extended or actually the collective reading that I'm going to do for the new moon in Capricorn. But I feel like this is kind of like the announcement of the opportunities that lie ahead for us in the new moon that are opening up today, the solstice, when the sun is entering Capricorn, to reclaim sovereignty. And it's reminding me because Capricorn is very sovereign. It is a sign that talks about authority, right? So there's something about claiming authority that is imperative to this solstice, that is actually reverberating for this new moon to to open the space, perhaps, right? When the sun and moon hold hands together, it's like this is the moment that both of them meet in the middle, right? Find the center point of the compass and then continue, right, to their own cycles, to their own roots, right? So it's gorgeous because I feel like this is kind of like a preview of what's to come actually on the new moon, and the power that this solstice holds in preparation for what we are going to sow the seeds of in the new moon. So I am going to pull more cards to see where this wants to go. And also I'm going to pull from the astrological runes in the extended reading. So if you want to join me there, I'll be very happy to see you. You can find the link down below. If not, I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.